and welcome to the first episode on the Inkandescent Radio of a new show, Money Mountaineering with Actuary Peter Neuwirth, FSA, FCA, entitled, What's Your Future Worth? I'm Hope Katz Gibbs, producer of the podcast network, InkandescentRadio.com and Inkandescent TV, and thrilled to be here with you, Pete. Welcome.
Well, thanks a lot, Hope. Me too. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Yeah, so I'm so thrilled we're going to have this new show for you. We had the honor of creating PeterNeuwirth.com, the new version of your website. So hold up your books. Tell people who you are.
Well, I'm Pete Neuwirth, and I'm an actuary, which some people know what that is and others don't. But I think it's an important thing for everybody to know about, because the actuarial perspective is pretty important and can be very, very useful as you kind of make your way through life.
So tell us about that. Hold it up. Tell us about that first book. What's Your Future Worth? Tell us the backstory of that. And people have been asking you forever, what's an actuary? And so you wrote this book to explain it. I get that. I wrote my book for the same reason. So tell us more.
Well, you know, as I was I was a corporate consultant. I was a pension consultant for 40 years. And towards the end of that career as an actuary, helping big companies evaluate their pensions, make better choices as to how to design and finance and administer their retirement plans, I started to just think about how the actuarial perspective and the work I've done for 40 years has helped me make better decisions, financial and otherwise, and thought, well, this is something that everybody can use. And so I started writing down my thoughts, and pretty soon after a few years, just writing every morning, I realized I had a book. And fortunately enough, Barrett Kohler thought it was worth publishing. And in 2014, I guess, they published What's Your Future Worth? It's about how the actuarial perspective can help you make better life decisions, whether it's should I buy that new car? Should I save more put more money into my 401k? Should I buy a house? What should I do with the house? Should I refinance that house to maybe do some other things?
Yeah, it's all the big life questions, right? And you help people figure it out with data. So let's talk a little bit about your career. You graduated from Harvard in 1979 with a degree in math and linguistics. And then you went to work at Connecticut General Life Insurance, which is now CIGNA. And then for like 4 decades, you have been an actuary and have done really remarkable work. So tell us, as a little boy, did you want to grow up to be an actuary? And what was the path that led you to where we are right now today?
Well, as a kid, I was always fascinated by the future. And I used to read science fiction all the time. And one of my most favorite book was the Foundation trilogy. And in there were these people called psychohistorians who would predict the future and then try to steer human events to make a better future for everyone. And so that's what I wanted to be when I grew up, as a psychohistorian, somebody who could predict the future and plan for the future. Well, I learned pretty early on that you can't predict the future. And then I went to college, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be when I grew up. But as I came to the end of my college career, I was starting to look around for various jobs, and there was a job that would pay me to take math tests. And I was really good at math and really good at taking math tests. And I thought, well, this has got to be a great job for me. And it was, and it happened to be just exactly what felt I was born to do. And that's what I've been doing for 45 years or so.
That's amazing. You know, but a minute ago, you said you can't really predict the future. Now, if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about some stuff that has happened in your life that you couldn't have predicted, like the fires in California.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, as I as I said in Money Mountaineering, which is all about making good financial decisions, part of what you want to do in life is to prepare for financial forest fires that might consume your assets or destroy your income or your job or your career, and be ready for whatever unforeseen calamity might occur.
Hold up that book. What's your Money Mountaineering that you just referenced? This is your second book, and tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, what my first book, as I said, was about how to use the actuarial perspective to kind of navigate through life, to evaluate the possibilities, to think about how you value the future versus the present, and then make the choices based on what's the best present value for the path that you're considering. That book did fine, and I got a chance to talk to a lot of groups about and share my perspective. But the questions that kept coming up again and again and again is, how do I make better decisions with respect to my money? How much should I be saving for my 401k? When should I retire? Should I take a lump sum? Should I take an annuity? What should I be doing? And so I decided that I would write another book, and this book I would focus just on money, because money is just such a complicated, confusing, and befuddling subject to so many people. So that's why I set out to write the second book, which is really almost a trail map and a guide to how to navigate through that wilderness.
Let's talk next about what you're working on now.
Okay, well, what I'm working on now is what's called the decumulation problem. Over the last 10, 15, 20 years, actually, you've seen the world of money change in the sense that it used to be that when you worked for a company, you would get a pension. They used to talk about the three-legged stool: Social Security, the company provided pension, and your own savings as the bedrock of financial security and retirement. Well, that's just not the way it is anymore. Right now, there are no defined benefit plans, very few defined benefit plans. Social Security may be there, but people are pretty much on their own to live for the rest of their life on whatever they've accumulated at the time they decided to stop working. You retire, and let's say you've got a nice nest egg, and you're gradually drawing that down and paying your bills, and then suddenly the house needs a new roof, or somebody in your family has a health crisis that's not covered by your health insurance, and suddenly you have a huge expense. So what happens during the phase when you're decumulating or drawing down your assets is you have a set of cash flow requirements that is itself unpredictable. And so that's where my research is focused right now, is how can you mitigate and protect and adapt and be ready for those kinds of risks after you've retired.
So thank you, Pete, for being part of our family. It's really wonderful to have you and your big brain part of what we're doing.
And thank you, Hope, because I really appreciate all of the way that you've helped me get my ideas out, because they're not easy and they're not simple, but they're important, and I think they will help people live and thrive in before, up to, and during retirement, and perhaps be able to leave a legacy to those that they leave behind.
That's beautiful. And I'm certain that everyone would love to have that in their lives. So you're going to teach us how.
Okay.
So to our audience, thank you so much. I'm Hope Katz Gibbs, founder of the Incandescent Radio Network and Incandescent TV, here with Peter Neuwirth, the first episode of his show, What's Your Future Worth? Money Mountaineering. So go get those books, check it out, And we will see you very soon on Pete's new show. Thanks again. Have a great day.